Can I just ask you a question from your personal standpoint of...
Unscripted.
So if you were to pick a top 3 for, saints in this round of the 2020 collection, or 3 cards that just stand out to you for one reason or another, either because, you learned something that you were like, whoa, 1, 2, or 3. Do you have any cards like that you're like, they really inspired you or just surprised you to learn, like, even like patronage or anything like that?
Yeah.
I know you
that's
did
a really good question. All of them?
A massive amount of research here, so it's not really
a
fair question.
But here's it is. I feel bad in a way because I get to be like, I get to spend several hours with each of these cards as we create them. But there are a few that popped out at me. I think in general, the Mendicant orders, I don't know, just studying their lives and, the fact that the Crusades were going on, the world's in disarray. We've got all of this hierarchical stuff that we're dealing with in the church. And then men and women are just going, you know what? I'm going to give it all away. I'm going to wear a rag and I'm going to go beg for the rest of my life. And we're just going to hit the reset button and start over. There is something so powerful about that decision to just walk away from everything and just lay everything down for Jesus. And I think that's probably in general the biggest takeaway for me in getting to know these ones in the Mendicant order expansion especially, is just realizing, and really all of the orders are symbolic of that decision to just give it all away for Jesus, right? But just to see the impact of that movement in the 13th century and how it continues even to today, and I would argue that there are, hopefully maybe these SaintCards can be a reminder of the originations of each of these orders and what the intent of the founders really were in the very beginning. Because boy, oh boy, when you look at the powerhouse of the Jesuits from the 16th century and the powerhouse of the Franciscans and the Trinitarians and the Mercedarians, it's an inspiration to go, you know what, Lord, we in a lot of ways, Lord, we need a reset button hit. And so maybe this can be an inspiration to us to kind of return to that. So I would say in general there, and then a couple ones that popped out to me. St. Peter Thomas is one. Had no idea that he was the Patriarch of Constantinople. A Carmelite from the 14th century. Of course, the 14th century is bubonic plague, and you got Vincent Ferrer and Catherine of Siena and a lot of really awesome saints during that time. But I'd never heard of St. Peter Thomas before. So for those of you out there that are in the Carmelite order, you're like, oh yeah, he's one of our guys. But he's awesome and really enjoy getting to know him. The other is William of Toulouse, an Augustinian. Let's see if I can find this part real quick, because we didn't script this out. So it's okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. See if I can find him real quick. Now we had to be really selective with his art because he is known. So like at the very end, Blessed William of Toulouse. This is probably the tamest picture of him that you can find, but if you do a Google search on him, and maybe you want to do it after the kids go to bed, you will find many pictures of these horrific demons that are constantly surrounding him and pestering him. He is the patron of exorcists, all right? I had never heard of him before either. Perhaps you're an exorcist out there and you're like, oh yeah, he's one of my guys. But a very powerful story with him. And for those of us, so he's a patron of spiritual directors, exorcists, preachers, and the souls in purgatory. Really good saint to get to know. And I think in particular for our time where we are seemingly looking at a lot of activity in the spiritual realm, he's somebody that we need to befriend, in my personal opinion. And then let's see, you said 3, so let me see if I can find another one real quick. The Mercedarians. All their stories are fantastic, but I think for me, my devotion to Saint Raymond Nonatus has gone way up. For those that are expectant mothers or midwives or obstetricians, or praying for a new baby, or hoping for the health of your new baby, and everything else in between, patron of newborns, anything having to do with the early stages of life, especially for the fight against abortion and everything else. St. Remy Nonatus is a fantastic friend to get to know. Of course, his last name literally means never born, because he was taken by C-section, and so he's got an amazing story, and so that would be the third one. So there you go.